This is one of my real life stories episodes, and this is regarding the attack on America on September 11th, 2001. I was working at my desk at a small engineering firm called Padcom. I was the inside salesperson trying to beat the bushes to find potential sales, and I would turn those potential sales over to the outside salespeople and hope to score a contract. I received a call, I don't know, maybe 8:45, maybe even closer to 9 o'clock from one of the outside sales guys. And he was asking what's going on. We had heard nothing, none of us at Padcom, a small firm of about 40 people, none of us had heard anything was going on because we were all busy with our work. Anyway, he called in and he said, something's going on. A plane has hit one of the World Trade Center towers in New York City. Please let me know what you can find and give me a call back. So I started researching as quickly as possible, and it didn't take very long before I understood that a plane had hit the tower. And then a second plane had hit the other tower, and clearly our country was under attack. Excuse me. Shortly after that, all websites basically froze up. They were overloaded. I could find out nothing more. I spread the word within the Padcom ranks, and people started tuning into whatever they could. As it got close to 10 o'clock, and there was very little information that could be accessed, as it got close to 10 o'clock, I decided to go out to my car. I was supposed to be at my desk, but this was too important. I needed to go find out over the radio what was going on. So I went out to my car and started to listen. And just before 10 o'clock, tower number 2, I believe it is, the South Tower, which was hit almost in the midsection, collapsed while I was listening. So I stayed out there probably over half an hour, at which point the second tower also collapsed, tower number 1, the North Tower, which was hit up around 88th floor, 90th floor, somewhere around there, I believe. Our country had never been attacked directly. We've participated in a number of wars, and yes, if you go back to 1812, of course, or the Revolutionary War, of course, there were attacks. But otherwise, our country had always been able to stay on the sidelines. This was our first attack on our soil. And somehow, a few days later, I heard that the President George W. Bush, had proclaimed a day of prayer and fasting for Friday. 9/11 was a Tuesday. And I don't even know how I heard about it, but I took it seriously. I have done that numerous times in my life. I took it seriously, went to work. In fact, on my way to work, I looked for some churches that might be open to pray. And I had chosen to fast for the entire day, drinking only water until the following day. And I was looking for a church where I could go early and pray. The only church that I discovered that was open was the Catholic Church, and they were open every day. So I went off to work, got there somewhat early. Around lunchtime, excuse me, around lunchtime I did go out looking for a church, and within 7-8 minutes I found one where the doors were open. And as I got out of the car and was heading to the door, the pastor there met me. I didn't know him, he didn't know me. And as I approached the door more closely, a lady came out. I went into that church where I sat, stood, knelt, cried, prayed alone for 45 or 50 minutes. No one else went to that church to pray for our country, even though we'd never been attacked directly before. Rather surprised at the body of Christ. Anyway, praying for my own sins, my own shortcomings, praying for the many, many countless sins of the nation. And moments before I needed to go back to work, the Spirit of God spoke to me. He said, instantly, there were 6 words. And he said, "This was your country's last warning." It's now 2025, February of 2025. We are on borrowed time. The most recent election may give us a reprieve, but so many of our people are way down the road in the wrong direction, anti-God, perhaps even embracing the darker things of Satan. And may there be a revival in this land. We have been warned. 9/11 was a warning. The impression that I got, these were not clear words, but it was an impression that I got while still in that church, was that if we don't change our ways, the next time the destruction, the judgment will be so terrible that it will make 9/11 look like a Sunday school picnic.